That's very true. You're about 2 minutes, I believe. I'll warn you for sure because I'll open up the show, so you'll hear me do all the hoopla that I got to do for the beginning, and then pretty much we'll go right to you if that works. So keep you for about 15 minutes or 10. Okay. I appreciate you being able to do this at the last minute too. I think I tried to do a show with Village Television, and I wanted to do an all women sports talk show. Yeah, so that was about 2009 because I had just moved back to Cleveland. I had been living in Richmond, Virginia. So yeah, that was a while ago. So yeah, so I'm doing a radio show. So things work out in different ways. All right, one moment. You're on. This is Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and you're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. And we are here today. I got my boys with me. There's a little bit of intro music. There we go. It's fading down. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, with WOVU 95.9 FM. That you're listening to Her in the Huddle. And I got my boys with me. I got Mr. Willie Epteen Jr. How you doing today, Willie? What's going on, sir?
Cleveland, 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 Cleveland. Rachel.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Nothing. How are you?
I see y'all got on sweaters and things up there.
It is very cold. And Marshawn Powers, how you doing today, sir? What's going on, Marshawn?
I'm good. I'm good. Just got off work, a little tired, but I'm here.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. So we just gonna go ahead and kick it off right now with our guest. We have a special guest today. We have Mr. Samuel Tidmore, who is a former player of the Ohio State University, or some people call it the. I know a lot of people call it the, and also of the Cleveland Browns. And how are you doing today, Mr. Tidmore? Good. Thank you so much for joining us at the last minute. So I guess we want to go ahead and open up with you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself for our audience who might not be familiar with you? You're a very popular person, but for those who don't know, can you tell a little bit about yourself? So what made you choose? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to ask you what made you choose to go to the Ohio State University? Okay. Mm-hmm. Did any other coaches come to your house as well to recruit you? What was it like for you down at Ohio State during that time in the turbulent 1960s, especially when it came to racial relations? Still not. Wow, I'm glad that it got better, and I'm glad that you had the backing of Woody Hayes behind you as well. So, what was it like to play against Michigan? Was the rivalry as big then as it is now? Okay. So Bo was a special guy, even the people at Ohio State, huh? Oh, okay. Mm. So when can you talk about Ohio State now? Have you had a chance to see some of the games and see the kids play? Yeah. What excites you about this Ohio State team currently and them taking on Michigan this weekend? Hmm. And moving forward, what was it like for you to be drafted by the Cleveland Browns, your hometown team? Mm. And what do you think about American capitalism right now, where you have such a large wage divide? Yes. Well, some people, the minimum wage of seven, I think 25 an hour, and then compared to CEO pay, the big discrepancy about the little people in between who are trying to make, money and, have a satisfactory life to live. Yeah, speaking of playing the game, my co-host has a question and he wants to know what is the thing you hated the most about the team up north? So the hatred faded away for you a little bit because of becoming coach and then Gary Moeller becoming coach. So he said he hated it. He hated Michigan as a student, but then once some of his personal friends left to go to Michigan, he didn't hate it as much. So yeah. Well, I still hate them, and I've been out of school for a minute now. So, and that question came to you from a Michigan fan. Before we let you go, talk a little bit about the Browns and what are your thoughts about the state of the Browns today? 2 or 3 years off, huh? And final question before I let you go: is Baker the quarterback of the future? Jury still out on that? Well, I think the jury might be a hung jury right now. Everybody's still out waiting on the decision. Well, Mr. Tidmore, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on Her in the Huddle, and hopefully we can get you back on another time to talk a little bit more of football with us. But I just want to thank you so much and wish you the happiest of holidays. All right, so much. You take care, Mr. Tidmore. All right, bye bye. All right, this is Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We were just with Samuel Tidmore, and we are about to go to a quick break, and we will be right back. Has requested approval from the Food and Drug Administration Okay, sorry about that, y'all. When they go through the phone, because he's like 85, he wanted to call in. So when they go through the phone, I guess they can't hear like they could StreamYard. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's what happened. So sorry about that. So we all set. We're about to bring it back in after the commercial. Today? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh. I have a major headache, man. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Marshawn,
What's up, man?
what you eating, man? You always eating something.
Fruit snacks. I'm starving.
How what's the how many degrees is it up there?
33.
Oof.
It's cold. It's cold.
You can tell them.
My bones don't deserve this type of weather.
5 points. They almost won. They could have won that game.
Oh yeah. All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am back with my partners. But remember, you can always give us a call at 216-271-0959. You can listen to us on WOVU.org. You can download that WOVU app so you can listen to us on the go, and you can also watch us via StreamYard on social media on Facebook.com, Rachel L. Hill. So you can follow me and you can watch us live as we do our thing. So Willie, what's up, man?
Yo. What it is? Cuyahoga,
welcome back.
Ohio.
Yeah, man. We wearing our coats because it's cold up in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 35 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why we got our coats on. Marshawn, what's up, sir?
What's up?
Yeah, nothing, man. So just had that interview with Samuel Tidmore. So he talked a little bit about what it was like to play in that rivalry, to play for Ohio State. And when he talked about that, the rivalry softened. I'm sure you guys heard it, but the rivalry softened for him once Bo went to go coach and Gary Moeller. So I'm like, I don't really, for me, I would still hate them. I think I might hate them even more that some people I know and cared about chose to defect and actually go to Michigan. I think I'd be more upset about that, and that would cause me to hate it even more. So I don't understand that rivalry softening. I'm like, it ain't went nowhere for me. But he also talked a little bit about playing for the Cleveland Browns, and we got into a slight conversation about capitalism because he became a successful business person after he left the NFL. So he credits a lot of people to his success, and obviously Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler, actually helped him in life. So let's get into it, guys. One of the things that Baker Mayfield's comments we didn't talk about yesterday on the show, but they're kind of igniting a firestorm about him telling the fans what they can kind of go do with themselves. What are your thoughts about that, you guys? And how right now he's an embattled quarterback. Do you really want to make the fan base mad?
He don't care. I'm gonna tell you why. It sounds like to me that Baker Mayfield is petitioning himself to get out of Cleveland. I know
really?
That's what it sounds like to me when his wife is popping off, and this ain't the first time that he said something adversely about the fans, the people that pay your salary, those kids out there that are wearing your jersey, the people that are paying their hard-earned money to be season ticket holders and all that stuff. And then you come back and you pop off like this, dude. This sounds like you don't want to be there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be able to, sit up there and say that the fans are the fans that don't be quiet because you're on offense. I mean, that's what I mean when people pay hundreds of dollars. This goes into the fact why I say you would never catch me paying anything over $50 to go to a Browns game out of my own pocket. Because if I spend my own money, I have to do what Baker says. I have to be quiet. I can't criticize somebody that I spent my hard-earned money to watch. That's my problem right there. I'm pretty sure if Baker and his wife go to a 5-star restaurant and they're not happy with the service there, I'm pretty sure they complain. So, I mean, at the end of the day, us as fans, we have the right to complain. I don't agree with the fans that may have booed him or may have booed the offense in total. But I mean, at the end of the day, if people want to make noise during the game, that's their own right. That's what they paid to do. That's how you get your salary.
And another thing too, I mean, if you think that it's affecting the offensive unit that much, why would you come out and make a plea such as that, as opposed to trying to catch flies with Sugar and saying, "Hey, you know what? We appreciate this." I don't know where's the Browns public relations department on this, because what they should have been steering him to say is pretty much this: "Yo, we love you. We appreciate your support. You know, we may not be playing all that great right now, and we love it that you're there cheering us on. But in order to help us just a little bit, it would be much appreciated that when we have the ball, if you guys can just pipe it down just a bit, and that will help us be more effective on the field." Boom, period. Now he looks like a good guy.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when has the PR department ever corrected Baker? I mean, from him arguing with other media members to,
And you saw he was
I mean,
pretty nasty in that press conference as well when he
yeah.
told Tom Withers of the Associated Press, "I don't owe y'all anything." Well, you kind of are mandating. You kind of do owe, some answers to people. Go ahead, Marshawn. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But
I just
no,
wanted to
no, no.
interject
That's
that.
basically what I was saying. Like, I mean, the PR department has to step in somewhere. Because now it's got to the point where it's getting immaturity with it. Like, I mean, I listened back to the press conference, and all I got from it was me, me, me. It wasn't anything as far as team related with Baker. I was having a bad day, so I wanted to go home and get my mind back together so I could say the right things. Well, I mean, what hard? Even if you was having a bad game, how hard is it to say, "Hey, I had a bad game, but Nick Chubb saved my tail. The defense saved. Denzel Ward saved my tail." Nobody would have cared. It wouldn't even be a story right now. We would be talking about how to beat the Ravens right now. But when you have, your the leader of your team, essentially your franchise quarterback, that so many people call him, to get up there and make it a me, me, me thing. I was having a bad day. I needed to go get my mind right. No, I mean, that just it ruffles feathers, and it rubs people the wrong way, because I mean nobody really knows where Baker's mind is. Is Baker mind with the team, or is Baker mind with getting money and with himself?
I got something behind that. Here is the ASAP NWBS translator when he said I had to go home and get myself right so I would know what to say. Translation: you know what, dog? I'm tired of being in Cleveland. I'm trying to get out of here just like OBJ did. This because after this season, I know I got the option exercised, but I'm going to do just enough for us to not lose and look terrible. But I'm trying to get up out of here.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. Listen, if he want to get out of here, I know a perfect place that he could go to with a perfect ownership and a perfect city, and we could get their quarterback, and he could go down there. He could go to Houston. He would. Hey, if Baker want to walk that big Texas pride, go to Houston. Let's see if you still be able to do that down in Houston, because we'd gladly take Deshaun Watson up here, a top 5 quarterback who's done a lot. So I mean, if Baker really won. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Deshaun Watson got his heart set on Miami. He ain't trying to come to Cleveland.
I mean,
they talking about he got a house down there and everything.
I mean, at the end of the day, Miami's not winning. If Deshaun Watson really wanted to win, I don't think you would want to go to the AFC East, where you got to compete with Josh Allen. You got to compete with Bill Belichick every year. Because the Dolphins ain't no much better of a franchise than the Browns. They haven't won anything since
Dan Marino play.
Before Dan Marino, the 16-0 season. So I just really don't understand, if he is trying to force his way out, which right now I don't think he is, but if he is, I just don't understand why. Cleveland ain't that bad of a place. I mean, the fans here are hard, but I mean, at the end of the day, Baker Mayfield stood on that draft stage and said, "I can be the person that can turn around the Cleveland Browns." You set yourself up for failure. That's like a guy getting into a relationship with a girl and say, "I will be the perfect boyfriend you've ever had." She gonna be expecting that. She gonna be expecting you to go above and beyond, and that's what us as fans expected out of Baker Mayfield. So because you didn't hold up to that fulfillment, you can't be mad at us for holding you to some expectations that you can't set, that you can't meet. You can't be mad at Browns fans. We going off of what Baker Mayfield said. He opened his mouth in 2018 and said, "I can be that guy," and he's yet to done it.
Yeah, and then he also has an adversarial relationship with the media, and one of the things you got to keep in mind is that the media has the ability to shape your image, and sometimes they won't write flattering things about you if you're being mean. A lot of them are very objective, but Baker makes himself look bad. You can hear those press conferences, and you can hear the way he talks to people. So it's not endearing that not only are you we actually won that game. We're all acting like it's a loss, but we actually won that game. But then when you actually start losing, or we are losing, and then you want to be nasty about it too with a nasty attitude, that doesn't make for very favorable articles and commentary to be about you as well, because look what's happening this week. But he brings it on himself.
I would love for Baker to play 1 year in New York. See if you can survive. You think Cleveland media is bad? Let's see if you can survive the New York media. Let's see if you can survive the Dallas media. Let's see if you can survive the Chicago media, the DC media, any of that. You think Cleveland media is bad? I would love to see if Baker could withstand what Daniel Jones is dealing with in New York. What Tom Brady dealt with in Boston. I don't think he's talking about his mental. I mean, mental health or whatever. Now he wouldn't be able to make it in New. They would eat Baker. Philly would eat Baker Mayfield alive. You can't make it in Cleveland. Go play for the Eagles. Well, they would eat. Emily wouldn't be able to come out the house in Philly. They would eat her alive. And we taking it easy on Baker. I feel like granted, I listen to both. I listen to all sports radio shows all day, every day during the Browns week. Some stuff, yes, is I feel like it's bad. But then some things they actually kind of side with Baker and just be honest, being real. I think Baker wants the media to kiss his butt. And unfortunately here we don't kiss butts, man. We've been through 31. Baker be the 31st quarterback I've seen in my lifetime that played for the Cleveland Browns. 31. You think we just gonna demolish? You think we just gonna speak bad on every quarterback that goes through here? We want a winner. If you winning, man, if Baker Mayfield win one Super Bowl, he'll have a statue in Cleveland and Cleveland Heights, downtown, West Side, Burke Lakefront Airport, Hopkins Airport. He would have a statue any and everywhere. I wouldn't mind seeing a progressive. You can make a progressive commercial with Art Modell for all I care, But right now, tough. I don't want to see. It blew me away when I seen a progressive commercial yesterday with Bernie Kosar. I thought we was done with the progressive commercials, but they got a whole brand new one.
Was in one?
Yeah, it was one about pretty much, in my opinion, the way I take it is Bernie's passing the keys of the kingdom to Baker because he asked him what was the Wi-Fi to the kingdom, and Baker told it was like X, Y, Z, a bunch of audibles that quarterbacks call and things of that nature. And I just kind of feel like, man, what is this progressive commercial adding up to? Is this progressive commercial going to heal Baker to make him 80% and get us a dub against Baltimore? If not,
but to be fair though, those commercials are filmed way before the season starts. So I don't trip on those because they, done when football is not in session. I feel like, make all the money you can, while you can do it, however you can do it. But I can't fault the commercials.
Here's the problem though. It's a problem when your commercial count is higher than your QBR.
Yeah, but he didn't know it was gonna be that way. How he know that's gonna happen though? You don't know that's gonna happen going into the season.
He can control how he plays.
Yeah, but that got nothing to do with his commercials.
But what I'm saying is that he can control how he plays. Okay, he may not be able to forecast what's going to happen in terms of injuries, but what he can control is how he responds to certain things like this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, some of those progressive commercials are very funny.
They are.
The one where he has the dude up in there house sitting, and they got all the trash and saying trash days on. And when you
pull
leave,
them out, pull the dumpsters out.
Yeah, and when you leave, make sure you punch in the code, which is 6. Yeah, okay, that's funny, but none of that amounts to anything, dude. If you're going to make these cryptic statements about, which shows that you possibly don't want to be there.
I mean, that's true. That is true. If Baker wants to be here, you got to act like it, man. You got to show us that you want to be here. Be a little bit more mature. Don't always walk around with this chip on your shoulder, like that. You like something has to fuel you to be great. Like Baker should wake up. What was the on Talladega Nights when my guy was like, every morning I wake up and I pee excellence. That's how Baker should be. That's how Baker should wake up. He said every morning he wake up feeling dangerous. I mean, he ain't feeling this. He ain't feeling dangerous this year.
But he hadn't said that he felt dangerous in a long time. But his messages appear to be dangerous to the Browns and to the Browns fan base. I mean, it's just unacceptable. And maybe Baker and what's his wife's name? Hannah? Emily. Maybe Baker and Emily really believe that the Browns will not be able to do any better at the quarterback spot, which is.
And here's the thing, man. This is the thing that kind of ticks me off. Everybody. I hate this, man. I'm getting a headache thinking about it, Willie. Everybody feels like, oh, if we lose Baker Mayfield, we'll go back to where we were 20 years ago. You know why we were in that situation 20 years ago? Bad owners, bad front office, bad culture, all like that. I was listening to a podcast my man Dre Knox called Brownstown. Willie, if you really want to jump on board of this Browns bandwagon, I'm actually texting it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. You got 16 episodes to listen to.
Okay.
But anyways, what basically what he said was, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Sheesh.
I forgot what I was going the Brownstown podcast.
Okay, sorry. Basically what he said. Basically what he was saying.
Must be big.
Yeah. Basically, what he was saying was that other teams have coaches. Browns. I mean, Eagles got a culture. Patriots got a culture. Dallas got a culture. Seahawks got a culture. 49ers haven't won, and since I've been alive, they have a culture. We don't have a culture. And 2 years ago, when Stefanski was still coaching, 3 years ago when Stefanski was still coaching with Minnesota. And Andrew Berry was with the Philadelphia Eagles. They were secretly texting each other, talking about how much they would love to work together. So these guys were already on the same page 3 years ago. So I feel like this. If you got two guys who already want to build a culture, who already been on the same place, what makes you think they can't do anything without Baker Mayfield? What makes you think they can't go out and trade Baker Mayfield, let's say, to an Atlanta for Matt Ryan, who I still think could be a good player for probably 1 or 2 years and could be a bridge gap and still keep the Browns on the elevation that we're on? Who's to say we can't go get an Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, or Deshaun Watson, or hey, I'll take Derek Carr. Who's to say? I mean, if y'all want Baker out there in Vegas, be my guest. Be my guest. I would take it. But at the end of the day, I just feel like, man, I think Stefanski with his demeanor, Andrew Berry with his demeanor, his draft picks and all like that, I think they're setting a culture that says, we don't care who you are, we don't care what your name is, we don't care what your style, where you was drafted. Any and everybody should be able to fit in my scheme as far as Kevin Stefanski and the culture that I've set as far as Andrew Berry, and we still be a good winning Browns team. That's personally how I feel.
I disagree with the part with Dre saying we don't have a culture. We do have a culture. It was a culture of dysfunction. That's a culture too.
Yeah, but that's not that's a toxic culture.
And right, but it's still a culture because we have that better than dysfunction.
But I think what Marshawn is saying, I think what Rachel is saying is that if you're going to have Marshawn is saying if you're going to have a bad culture, then you might as well not have a culture at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but dysfunction was all they knew, but dysfunction is a culture as well too. And that's all that they knew. We know about the good cultures like, Pittsburgh culture or something, because we had minority owners come to the Cleveland Browns and they want to emulate wasn't Haslam a minority owner of the Pittsburgh
From
Steelers,
Pittsburgh
right?
Steelers,
Yeah. So that culture, you come from a culture that one of the best cultures in the league to a culture of dysfunction. And, it has been nothing but dysfunction since he got here. And, the ship started to right itself when he got Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski in here. So it's kind of saving the franchise. And you know what, Willie, you might be right. I don't know if Baker's going to be here, after maybe the next year or so, because they could franchise him, a year from now, because, he got that contract for next year. Then they could franchise him. But I don't think he's their quarterback of the future at all. I don't think he'll be here like you said.
And then to think of him from this standpoint, because the fact that he hasn't gotten the extension yet, he may have an inkling or a feeling or whatever that is exactly what's going to happen, that they're going to franchise him for 2 straight years, and then they can actually hit him with the transition tag a 3rd year. And he's like, yo, if I can't get the long-term deal, man, I'm about to wreak havoc and try to get myself up out of here. Maybe
man, that's nuts. That is nuts.
And then he really gonna have an attitude then. But fellas, we gotta take a break right quick. We'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Long haulers make up 30% of all people infected by COVID.
What's a COVID long hauler?
People referred to as long haulers have a condition called COVID-19 syndrome or long COVID.
How do you know if you're a long hauler?
Long haulers are people who have COVID-19 and have had it for weeks or even months without fully recovering. Some long haulers experience continuous symptoms, while others recover for weeks at a time and then relapse with new and or old symptoms.
What are the symptoms?
The most common long hauler symptoms include coughing, ongoing fatigue, body aches, joint pain, shortness of breath, loss of taste and smell, difficulty sleeping, headaches, and brain fog. For more information about long COVID, go to wovu.org. This message is brought to you by WOVU 95.9 FM, Burtonville Carr Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back. This is Rachel Hill and Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. And we just, in our last segment, we just talked about Baker and the culture of the Cleveland Browns. Did we have any comments in StreamYard, Willie?
Nothing.
We have a couple. We have Coach Dante. What up, guys? And then CG Ruthless Sports says, what's up, guys? Okay. When I saw CG Ruthless Sports, you know what I thought of?
What?
That song by Easy, that song by Easy E that I sent y'all that time that said, you know what it said?
Real G's.
Yeah.
Real Compton City G's.
Yeah.
So what y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about these Cavs, or y'all want to talk about the college football playoffs that's coming out tonight? The rankings.
Well, I have a question though.
We got a show tomorrow too, so we can say something for tomorrow.
I got a question. How is it that the cat from Detroit, the Pistons, gets fined 950 racks?
Oh wow!
For what he did, and Aaron Rodgers, who put people's lives in jeopardy, only got fined 14 stacks. How's that even possible?
Institutional
makes zero sense, Willie. No, it's not. And the crazy part about it don't have nothing to do with racism. It's all about power. What type of power you got in the league? No, I mean, the LeBron slapped some dude upside the face. He got suspended for a game, and the guy who got slapped in the face got suspended 2 games. It's all about power, man. Isaiah Stewart don't have no credibility in the NBA. Even though he's a great player, he don't have any credibility. LeBron got plenty of credibility. So that right there was a favoritism move. Just like NFL, Aaron Rodgers and CeeDee Lamb. Aaron Rodgers got fined way more money at putting people's lives at risk than CeeDee Lamb did for having his shirt untucked. But who was Aaron Rodgers? And who was CeeDee Lamb? It's all about credibility in the league. I hate it.
wonder
I
what
hate
the
it.
difference is.
I hate it. I hate it. Well, you can't say that though, Rachel, because in the NBA, both players is black.
Mm.
LeBron and Isaiah Stewart are both black. It's all about who is LeBron. Who is LeBron? What does LeBron mean to the NBA? What does Isaiah Stewart mean to the NBA? In my
Well,
opinion?
Isaiah Stewart kind of went a little crazy afterwards as well, too, and that didn't help his case. So he became a danger to people. I don't know if you saw, but people was falling all on the floor and stuff. So he could have injured people as well. So that kind of, went a
I'm gonna
little
let
bit
Willie on
above
here.
and
So Willie
beyond.
shaking his head. Willie,
He
what you
went
got to
above and
say?
beyond.
Go
He
ahead,
went
Willie. I
above and
know
beyond.
me and
But
Willie
people
thinking
could
the
have been
same
hurt
thing.
falling on the floor trying. I mean, there was multiple people who fell down who were trying to restrain him.
Me
They
and
could have
Willie
been
thinking
hurt
the
as
same
well.
thing.
Go ahead. I'm here for it. I got time.
I'm gonna
time.
go
I'm
ahead,
here
Willie.
for it.
Go ahead,
Say
Willie. I'm gonna
whatever.
let you speak and tag
Say
you in after
whatever.
that.
But he became a danger after that happened.
Look at my face.
Go ahead. You can roll
Rachel,
your eyes. You
Rachel,
can roll your eyes. You can stomp your feet. But this black girl, you sure can't beat. You
Oh
remember
my
that from the
God.
80s?
Rachel, you ever had your nose busted or your lip busted and you tasted blood? It
Yeah, I
angers
bit
you.
my
It
tongue the
makes
other
you,
day.
yeah. No, I'm saying if somebody punched you in the
Somebody else
mouth,
at
and
the expense of
yeah,
somebody else.
not you, somebody else punched you in the mouth, somebody else punched you in the nose, somebody else hit you across the face. If you could easily. One thing I learned about Isaiah Stewart yesterday, I didn't know. You know, this dude he grew up as his hands is licensed. He's a
Mhm.
professional. He's a
So why
boxer.
did he just hit him? He was like not even a foot
Because
apart
his
from him.
hand,
He should have
if
just
he
hit him
was,
back.
if he would have punched LeBron in the face, that's a felony. His hands is registered. His hands are
Like
registered in
Con
the state.
Air. Like in
Yeah,
Con Air.
if he would have, I'm pretty sure if he would have punched LeBron in the face, he probably would have broke something. You know, let's be honest.
It's a
But
chance you take.
what me and Willie are saying, it's different when you get punched in the face and blood is drawn. It's like a bull. I see red. You know, you can't tell nobody how to react once. I mean, did you see how much blood was leaking from that man? He was
He
heated.
was
It was.
gushing.
I would have tried to take on the whole team too. You know, at first he talked to
No, you
LeBron. I
wouldn't.
read his lips.
No, you wouldn't. No,
I
you
read his
wouldn't.
lips. He said, man, you got to watch out for that. And he backed away. He ain't want no smoke with LeBron. And it wasn't until that blood started drawing down his face. That's what he wanted. He wanted to beat up any and everybody in that stadium. He didn't care if you played with him or played against him. He did not care.
Doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. That fine is, what's the word I'm looking for? Exorbitant. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is
It's ridiculous.
That fine is terrible. I don't look. People who get arrested for felonious activities don't get bail amounts that high. So when you look at it from the standpoint of what he did in accordance to what he could have done, okay, you can't arrest a person, man, for what they almost did. You can't fine a person that type of money for what they almost did. That's 950 racks. We're not talking about 14 G's. We're talking about 950 racks. That's $1 million.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
And what that says to me is the state of the National Basketball Association and really sports as a whole. They are so adamant in trying to send a message to somebody for something that doesn't even warrant that. That punishment did not fit that crime. I'm sorry. No way, no how. Now, what Aaron Rodgers did, he should have been fined, $300,000-$400,000. Because
I would have taken a couple M's.
Well, I'm saying at least. So, because he put people's lives in jeopardy, potentially. So, yeah, that's different because Aaron Rodgers, man, had somebody else gotten affected, they would have been doing the same thing that the NBA did last year on March, whatever it was, March the 20th. They would have shut down the entire NFL. But for this dude, man, who got some blood drawn from arguably the most polarizing sports figure on the globe, and you're going to give him that type of fine? Man, that don't add up, dude.
Oh, yeah, the fine amount is egregious. I definitely do agree with that. I was just saying that, they tacked on more once he went around like a bull, like Marshawn said. But yeah, the fine is exorbitant, and I don't even know what his salary is, but I think he only a second year player, so he ain't making that much.
No.
So that's gonna hurt.
And maybe it was a typo. As a matter of fact, y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go and look because that just seems like to me that it was too much.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like, the punishment and the crime didn't meet.
What was
Guy got
LeBron's fine? Did LeBron have a
he
fine?
got he got suspended. No, he got suspended for 1 game, and Isaiah Stewart got suspended for 2 games. So essentially, it's a game check. So, I mean, for LeBron, that's probably about 300K. For him, that's probably, I don't know. I don't know what he makes, so I wouldn't be able. But I know LeBron is up there in the 40 million, so that's about 300 to 400,000 a game
But that ain't
that he's
nothing to
missing.
LeBron, man.
No, that's
Right. That's a
LeBron.
tax write off.
That's allowance that he give his daughter.
Miss Zora with her cute self.
Hmm.
Well,
But man,
so
I tell you this one thing I will say: I can't no longer speak bad on the Cavs. The last night I said they was gonna lose by 20.
yeah,
You know,
that's what I was
yeah.
just about to say. DJ Chris Styles was like, don't forget to tell him that he said they was gonna lose by 25.
Well, tell Chris Styles I'm sticking on my 25 because Ohio State gonna be Michigan by 25. I hope you hear that. Ohio
Yeah.
State is gonna blow the doors off Michigan.
Yeah, but the Cavs was in it the whole game. They was leading. The Brooklyn Nets. I don't know if they look like they some world beaters and they gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know. James Harden, he had below 20 points. Kevin Durant, and normally I try not to complain about officiating, but it's like if you literally blew on Kevin Durant or James Harden, they blew the whistle. The Cavs played hard. It's just the injuries, man, is just killing us right now. Darius Garland had went out for a hot second, and when he went out, the team lost his rhythm. They was cold. They was cold from 3-point, 3-point arc. They just was cold. So obviously, the offense and defense runs through him, and they kind of lost that sense of identity and was just jacking up shots. So it was a pretty much close game the whole game, but at the end of the day, the Nets just had more firepower at the end. And I told y'all one time, somebody told me that the good teams just got to play hard for 5 minutes. And it wasn't even that, the Nets played hard for 5 minutes. They just kind of got lucky at sometimes. But Seti Osman is going to be back, so that'll be helpful. Laurie Markkinen was back, and also Jared Allen was back, so that helped. They poured in over 40 points, so that definitely helped as well.
They still need that main guy. Until the Cavs get that main guy, that can close games for them. They don't have nobody right now to close games.
No.
It was Colin Sexton, but I personally don't see Colin Sexton as a closer. I think they need somebody else. I like I've been saying, I think if the Cavs, whatever happens with this season is whatever. They're fun to watch, but again, the expectations aren't high for them. But if the Cavs go out and they compete and they can bring in a veteran 2 guard or a wing or something of that nature to pair with these young guys, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll at least be in the top 10 as far as tournament time. But with a lot of guys getting injured, no real superstar to close out games, only guys that could get them that could really battle for 3 quarters. It's gonna be the same story every night.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm not finding anything else other than what what's his name? Sharania?
Sharani and Sham.
Yeah, he reported it on Bleacher Report that it was a $950,000 fine for Stewart, but I'm not seeing it anywhere else other than Bobby Marks, who is of course the he's a GM insider for ESPN, says that the suspension will cost LeBron James $284,000, and Stewart will cost him a total of $45,200 per total for each totaling for both games. So it doesn't say anything about that $950,000. So but if that were the case, we could say that.
Not.
Yeah, so I can retract that right here on Her in the Huddle, right here on WOV You.
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
You. O-U. U-O.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Uh,
So
Anyway.
yeah, had to clear that up.
Yeah, I hope that fine isn't that much because I just think about, obviously he's making more than me, but what that fine does for somebody that young under a rookie contract, they always have those money issues already as it is, being young and people trying to take for them. So hopefully it
he
didn't go
make
out that
3
way.
points. He make 3.7 million per year. So 900,000. That's a steep fine. That's whew,
Yeah.
All right.
that's
All
a
right.
steep fine.
All right, fellas, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for being with me. As always, we got a show tomorrow before Thanksgiving. So you've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU